This is an interesting one. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think. Number 57, Tales of Vesperia.
Didn't even break a sweat.
So a couple things about this. First of all, Vesperia is very widely known as the best Tales game, which means there's probably no other Tales games on this list. Second of all, Vesperia being that high, I think it probably fits, but maybe not above Lufia. But don't push that button, Zach. I think with Berseria is just better for casual fans of the series. Like, I really enjoyed Berseria, having only played Symphonia. It's a lot more, like, approachable. Berseria is. God, if they put Symphonia above anything, let alone Vesperia, I would be really upset. Listen, Symphonia is a good game, but it's not top 100 RPGs of all time. I had so many issues with that game. It's a good game, but it's no Dragon Age Inquisition. No, I think Vesperia being this high is pretty cool, honestly, and I think it deserves it. I've only ever heard the highest praises of Vesperia, and the Tales series in general deserves to be on this list, so good stuff. Okay. I don't know about this one. I don't know about this one. I think we're about to have a meltdown. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe no meltdown. I think meltdown, though.
Roll my dice.
I think everyone's going to be rolling their dice. Number 56, Super Mario RPG. That's pretty yikes, I'll be honest. That is pretty yikes. I mean...
Easy.
I was gonna say like top 25, but as the years go on, more games are made, more really great RPGs are made. I think I could push it down to top 30. But it's no lower than that. I haven't even played it all the way through, and I can tell you it's not all the way... It's not lower than that. And given how much, like, cultural significance they've put on some of the other games on this list, I don't think you can make the argument that it's lower than that. Also, does that mean that Thousand Year Door is not on this list? Or does that mean that they're putting Thousand Year Door above Super Mario RPG? I'm kind of interested in that. Would you guys put Thousand Year Door above Super Mario RPG? Really? I was not under the impression that most people would. I guess we'll see if Thousand Year Door is on here then. Given that Super Mario RPG is this low, that means that either Thousand Year Door is above or it's not even on the list. And I would be pretty... I feel like that'd be quite the miss if it wasn't on the list at all. Alright. Number 55, Shadow Hearts Covenant. A lot of people are going to be happy about that. I think Shadow Hearts might be my most requested game of all time. More people ask me to play Shadow Hearts than any other video game over the years. So, I get the hype behind it. Is it better than Super Mario RPG? I have no clue. Just have to play it and find out. But I think it's probably fair, at least, to be in 55 spot. Okay. Nah, now we lost. Now we've lost him, boys. We've hit... We've hit true IGN status now. I cannot get behind this one. Sorry. Classic IGN moment. There will be some people that disagree with me, but I don't care. Number 54 is The World Ends With You. I heavily disagree. On many levels. First of all, I don't like The World Ends With You, so I'm a bit biased. Second of all, The World Ends With You, I could see it being on the list. For the love of God, who would put The World Ends With You above Super Mario RPG? But I mean, what? That's insanity. On really any level. I can't think of a single level like, no matter how you're making the list, its impact when it came out, Super Mario RPG was bigger. Its impact nowadays, Super Mario RPG is bigger. Its cultural significance, Super Mario RPG was bigger. Like, I can't think of a single way you could build this list to where it would even be close. Absolutely not. I think the biggest fan in the world of The World Ends With You would admit that Super Mario RPG was bigger. I mean, you could pick one one little subsection of game, but that's not what... It's a list of the top 100 best RPGs. There's only so many ways you can organize them. It's not the top 100 best characters or the top 100 RPG musics. Like, it's top 100 RPGs as a whole. So you're either you're listing them as like... Oh, you're saying that, yeah, even wins there. But yeah, like, you're saying either everything together, or you're saying, like, cultural impact, or you're saying replayability, or you're saying when it came out, how good was it? Nowadays, how good is it? Like, all of those different things. Or you're saying all of those together, but Super Mario RPG wins in every single category. I mean, there's no way. I can't even see an argument. I can't even see a single argument where... Wow. Yeah, that's an IGN take right there. Holy cow. And I'm not even trying to really, like, kick World Ends With You while it's down. Like, I don't like The World Ends With You, but I understand that a lot of people do. It has a really big niche fan base. It also had a sequel, and it had Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, which had characters from it. So, like, it's had some significance over time, but come on. Super Mario RPG started an entire series of handheld RPG games. It's getting a remake this year. It's one of the most important, biggest RPGs of all time on a system that was, like, known for great RPGs. Like, give me a break. There's no way. Okay, this is a fun one. Number 53, Fantasy Star 4. So I'll be honest, I like this pick. And I think that it belongs above Breath of Fire 3 too. Although I need to play Breath of Fire 3 all the way through. But I did play Fantasy Star 4 all the way through. And I think it belongs on this spot. I could see you arguing a bit lower, yeah, but I think this is a pretty good spot, honestly. Yo, Vantis, thank you so much for the 7 months. And Polygon, thank you for the 74. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Vantis said, haven't been able to catch streams lately, but I've been super enjoying the COD Zombies content. First found your streams while grinding trophies on the World of War maps. Thank you so much, man. It has been such a blessing to hear. I mean, like, the whole Zombies event was something that was really close to my heart, and I knew that some people enjoyed it, but the amount of people that have, like, come out and said, like, you know, this means a lot to me as well. And the people that have said, like, you know, I don't know anything about zombies, but I appreciate how much, you know, passion you put into it. That's really been awesome. So thanks to everyone that's supported the event and stuff. It really means a lot. All right. So I guess we'll just end it here. I think that the top 53, the bottom 53 games were great, and we should just end it here. What do you think? We got Final Fantasy XIII to play. We don't have time to be looking at the top 100 games. We ain't got time. We got monsters to kill, guys. Come on now. I mean... Dark Souls, check. Number 52 is Final Fantasy VII. Take that for what you will. There are so many things wrong with this that I can't even... Like, what? Listen, what? I think that old Game Informer magazine list that I had Final Fantasy VII at like 8 or something. And that was before the remake was announced. That's insanity. So we're saying... So first of all, we're saying that 8 and 9 aren't on the list. Like, they just aren't. As much as I love 8 and 9, on a list of top RPGs, they're not above 7. So, 8 and 9 just aren't on the list. 4 and 5 aren't on the list. And then 10 is probably on the list, I would imagine. And if 6 isn't, then I'm never reading another IGN article again. How in the world? That's insanity. I can't even... On what planet is Final Fantasy VII not... Listen, I'm trying my best to put all of my bias to the side.
Well, that wasn't scary at all.
Like, do they not know that Japan is a country? Like, is... I mean, give me a break. Is this like the most Americanized list ever? I mean, there's absolutely no way. Jolly, I'm gonna time you out if you keep doing that. I literally said at the beginning, don't do that. And this is like the 5th time I've said, don't do something, and then you immediately do it over the course of like the last month. Please stop. Yeah, I don't know. Like, from any position I can approach this, I can't even understand. Like, I don't know. That's wild.
Just
That's...
another battle.
I'm not even looking at how good the game is. I'm just looking at, like, what it did for gaming, what it did for RPGs, what it did for the PlayStation 1. Like, there's just no way. Yeah, but this list has so much cultural impact. Like, so many of the games are on here just because of cultural impact. You're trying to tell me that Final Fantasy VII is below 40? Like, there's no way. There's legitimately no way. That's just being completely blind to, like, half the planet. Like, Final Fantasy VII is still one of the most popular things in Japan. Like, that's just insanity.
And I was just getting started.
Not even top 50. Not even top 50. This is gonna ruin the whole rest of the list. Every other game that comes up for the next, like, 40 games is gonna be like, that's great, but it's not Final Fantasy VII. Like, there's no way. Belaine, thank you so much for the 2 years. Thank you, man. What's funny is their description is, like, insane. What needs to be said about Final Fantasy VII? The game single-handedly pushed RPGs to greater popularity in the Western world than they'd ever experienced thanks to its gritty tone, incredible graphics, revolutionary CG cutscenes, unimaginably huge world, and insane story. Practically every one of its characters has been an iconic hero or villain, and its legacy is immeasurable. Whether you think it's the greatest game of all time or the most overrated, its influence and its innovation simply can't be denied. Number 52. Like, what? It almost sounds like the guy that wrote it was arguing for it to be higher. And then, like, the editor was just like, yeah, 52. That's truly unreal. I mean, what game has more popular characters than 7? I mean, like, we had... I showed that list in the in-depth look at Cloud, where Cloud was number 1, and then, well, that was, granted, Final Fantasy games alone, but... dude, I don't know. That's just unbelievable. I mean... Wow. I mean, what are we going off of? Like, player count or something? Like... I just have no idea. Alright, number 51. The game that trumped Final Fantasy VII. More important, better game than Final Fantasy VII. Stardew Valley. Okay, first of all, is Stardew Valley even an RPG? like looking at the other games on this list, it's not even really an RPG. I mean, you could like argue that it is, but every other game on this list has been like old style RPG, not games that are just technically RPG. Oh my god. Are we just going by like player count or something at this point? That's insanity. Dude, I have to stop because I could be here all day. But even if we're going with like games that are played nowadays, people still, Final Fantasy VII is still very popular. There's still ports of it being released. It's not like it's lost to time. What in the world? That is just insane. All right. Okay, finally. Okay, wait, guys. We may have actually, maybe we spoke too soon. Okay? Listen. I'm gonna give IGN the benefit of the doubt. All right? Yet they're gonna give the sub to Mango. I'm gonna give IGN the benefit of the doubt, okay? They put Final Fantasy VII at 52, but if every game after this is like the biggest banger of all time, then maybe it could still be an okay list, okay? And listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, 50 is a banger, okay? 50 is Persona 5. I mean, here's the thing. I could see it being higher than 7. I disagree with that, but I could at least see the argument. But why is it 50? What is above this? If 7 is 52 and Persona 5 is 50, what in the world is 49 and above? Like, what? These have got to be the greatest games of. It's got to be just Elden Ring. 49 to 1 is just Elden Ring. They were like, the game's too big to be on one. 49 is Pokemon Red Blue. 48 through 1 is Elden Ring. Or something. Because holy crap, how is Persona 5 only halfway through the list? Also, does that mean no Persona 3 and 4? Because that is an outrage. Persona 4 in particular is one of the like most loved games ever. How in the world is Persona? Because they couldn't have put 4 over 5, right? This is IGN. There's no way they put 4 over 5. But that means 4 isn't on the list. Maybe it is. Maybe they're going to shock me and Persona 4 is going to be higher up. Bro, that's ridiculous, though. Persona 4 is not above Final Fantasy VII. Are we on drugs? Okay. Oh my god. I can't believe there's 49 games left. What in the world? Okay. Oh my god, dude. 49 is Xenoblade Chronicles. Fair. Should be higher. What are the games that are coming next? If Xenoblade Chronicles is 49 and Persona 5 is 50. Do you guys think Persona 5 should be lower than Chronicles? I feel like there's an argument it could be higher. I feel like that's a pretty fair argument though, like either way. There's no way Persona 4 is better than 7. No way. Do you realize how much 7 brought to the table? How many firsts that 7 did? Persona 4 was just 3 again, but way better. Or not. Some people say 3's better. But 7 was revolutionary in an unbelievable amount of ways. If we're making a list of the top 100 and we're taking cultural impact into any kind of effect, whether it be 10% of the score or 50% of the score, 7 wins. I mean, there's just no way. In my opinion. if cultural significance has any bearing on it. 7 is top 20, and it, you know, more like top 10, but I see the argument for top 20 at this point. Like, that's just no way. Alright, what's better than Final Fantasy VII, Persona 5, and Xenoblade Chronicles? Number 48, Dragon Age Origins. Okay. Riddle me this, Batman. If we're gonna put Origins that high, why is Inquisition so low? Like, what? Origins is above Persona 5, but Inquisition barely made the list? Are they just spreading it out because they didn't want the games to be close to each other? I mean... Whatever. I mean, I'm not 100% against Origins being that high. It's just weird. But yeah, no, I'm not really against that. I'm not against Dragon Age Origins being with Chronicles and Age, or Chronicles and Persona 5 and even Final Fantasy VII. I don't know if it's above all of those, but I feel like this is fair. What? Okay, now I'm a bit lost. Please, Persona fans, please help me. Help me out here. Persona 3 is 47. Am I lost in the sauce here? I mean... Like, I have heard many, many amazing things about Persona 3, and I enjoyed of what I played of Persona 3. I think it's incredible. But we're putting it above 5? But also that close to 5? Odd. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know, man. I think if you take Persona 5 and you take Final Fantasy 7 and you throw them higher, I think this list is fine. But the fact that 7 and 5 are below makes this very strange. But like, I totally see Persona 3 being there if it weren't for what's below it. I think it should be higher. I mean, what are we at? 47? It should be higher. Number 46, Grandia 2. I feel like... Okay, here's my problem. I think Grandia 2 fits good here, but I'm still confused at how Persona 3 is better than Persona 5, but not as good as Grandia 2. That just seems really odd. Like, I feel like both the Personas should be higher. I think they should both be higher. But I don't know. We're kind of all over the place here. I've kind of, at this point, I'm so lost in the sauce. I'm waiting for like, dude. I'm thinking of a lot of RPGs right now that haven't come up yet. That if they come up now, I'm gonna be very confused. All right. Oh, we've really lost it now. Oh no. Number 45 is Demon Souls. Good lord. No. Just so many amounts of no's. No. Just no. Just no. Just no. Absolutely not. Who in their right mind is putting Demon Souls above Persona 5? What? Excuse me? Even Trev wouldn't put Demon Souls above Persona 5. Maybe Dark Souls. But even Trev, in all of his Souls mind slaveness, would not put Demon Souls above Persona 5 and Final Fantasy VII. That's insanity. Demon Souls wasn't even that influential. Dark Souls was.
Be ready for the next fight.
Oh my god. That's just unreal. I mean... I really do feel like this is just a top 100 most influential list, but then why is Undertale so low? And why is Kingdom Hearts so low? And why is Persona 5 so low? Number 44 is Xenogears. Again. I can honestly see the argument for Xenogears being better than Persona 5 and Final Fantasy VII. I just don't know why we're still in the 40s and how we're not like in the top 20s at this point. What could possibly be above this? I feel like we're in the normal top 20s, and then the next like 30 is just gonna be like super pop, like World of Warcraft and crap, you know, like just stuff that's like super popular. I think that this is the true top 20, and then after this is just going to be memes like Minecraft. Minecraft is an RPG. Yo, where's freaking Wild Arms? We never got Wild Arms. Number 1, Call of Duty. Wild Arms isn't on the list. Unless they're going to say Wild Arms is better than Persona. Oh my god, dude, what? We have to quit reading this list. I can't go any further, guys. This is the end for me. We can't read this list anymore. I'm gonna have a second hernia. Number 43 is... I can't even say... I can't even say it. Tales of Symphonia. So not only is Tales of Symphonia better than Vesperia, but it's better than Final Fantasy VII, Demon Souls, Persona 5, Persona 3, and Xenogears. Sure. Sure. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Listen, I did not like Tales of Symphonia, but I can at least give it credit. But no. It's no. It is not. It is not anywhere near any of those games. Xenogears is better in the first 30 minutes than Tales of Symphonia is for 40 hours. Xenogears puts Tales of Symphonia to shame. It's not even close. This is getting tough. I mean, it's gonna be hard for me to continue. Number 42 is Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Sure. You know, Final Fantasy VII sucks anyways. I don't know. No one likes Final Fantasy anymore. I've heard many things about Vampire Masquerade. I've heard it's very good, so whatever. I think number 42 is a great spot for it if it weren't for the rest of the 40s, but no, I'll play ball. I'll play ball, IGN. I'll put it in 42. What's 41? Skies of Arcadia. Again, great spot if it weren't for what came before, but I'll put Skies of Arcadia in 40. Absolutely. Where's BioShock? BioShock better be 40th. Number 40. Number 40 is Final Fantasy IX. What metric are we going with here? Are we serious? Listen, I am the biggest Final Fantasy IX stan of all time, okay? But by what metric are we putting 9 above 7? If we're making an official top 100 list, not a opinion list, but like an official top 100 list, by what metric is 9 above 7? What? And I love 9 to death. I would even like put it there, but wait. I just want to know the reasoning as to how. Like, the only thing I could come up with is that 9 is kind of the grand finale of the Retro series. And that's kind of what they say in their description here, so, I mean, fair.
Just another battle.
If you want to put 9 above 7 because it was like the grand finale of the Retro series, fine. You know what? Fine. I'll give you that. Top 39, or number 39, Ogre Battle, The March of the Black Queen, 1993. I don't know a lot about Ogre Battle, but I mean, I have heard on multiple occasions that people like Ogre Battle more than Persona 5. I've watched several Persona 5 playthroughs where halfway through, the player was like, you know what, this is just not as good as Ogre Battle. It's good, but it's no Ogre Battle. But whatever. Somebody wants to... No, whatever. Ogre Battle is great. 39, fine. Oh my god. Okay. Number 38 is Fallout.
Come on, man.
The original, which was an RPG. I've heard that original Fallout was kind of rough. But if you wanted to play the influence game, you could say yes, the original Fallout was pretty influential. It deserves to be top 40. But I think in any video game space, if you tried to make the argument that original Fallout was better than Persona 5 and Final Fantasy VII, I think you might get punched in the face. I think that might happen. But hey, number 38, that's not a bad spot for original Fallout. Okay, number 37, original Fire Emblem. Okay, here's my hot take on this. If we're not taking into consideration what came before it, I think it should be higher. Potentially. The only thing is, didn't the original Fire Emblem kind of have a lot of growing pains? Like, I wonder if they're including, like, because I think it got a remaster, right? I don't know. I'm fine with it being there. I'm even fine with it being a bit higher. Number 36, Neverwinter Nights. 2002. Sure. I think that's fine. I still am just completely dumbfounded by what metric we're going by here, where we're gonna put Final Fantasy VII and Persona 5 lower, but then games that are just kind of more of a cultural impact higher. But it seems like they really like Dungeons and Dragons. Anything that has to do with Dungeons and Dragons, they're like, yeah, that needs to be high because Dungeons and Dragons is popular. Number 35, OG Baldur's Gate. Again. No, I don't think Dark Alliance should be top 100. As much as I like Dark Alliance. But what about 2? Wasn't 2 better than 1? Thought it was. Don't worry about it, Venom. It's not like Final Fantasy VII wasn't even top 50 and Persona 5 wasn't even top 40. And Tales of Symphonia was better than both. Yeah, I wonder if Baldur's Gate 2 is going to be higher. Oh yeah, and Stardew Valley is better than Final Fantasy VII. Oh, that's actually not even as bad of a take as Symphonia being that high. Here we go. Number 34, Thousand Year Door. I'm totally okay with Thousand Year Door being that high. Fantastic game. It should maybe even be higher if it weren't for what's behind it. I think that's pretty fair. I didn't realize that so many people put Thousand Year Door above original Super Mario RPG, to be honest. Today I learned. I had Thousand Year Door growing up and I really liked it, but I always thought that people liked the original RPG more. Okay, I'm very confused. Super Mario RPG was really low, actually. I am very confused by this next one. Number 33 is Dragon Quest V. Can somebody please explain what in the world Dragon Quest V is doing that high up? The description of Dragon Quest VIII literally said it's the best Dragon Quest game. And then they put 5 like 20 spaces above it. What? They themselves said 8 was regarded as the best. I don't understand. Let me read what they said. Other games emphasized choice, but few showed the effects of those choices over the long game, quite like Dragon Quest V did when it launched for the Super Famicom. Also, they spelled Famicom wrong. The tale here spans an entire 3 decades, with the hero changing in alignment with the path taken. It also marks the introduction of the Dragon Quest series' now familiar ability to let monsters you fight join your party, much in the style of the later Pokemon series. It's also remarkable for having a playable pregnancy, a concept that would later influence games like Fable 2 and The Sims. So what we're saying is, somebody being pregnant in Dragon Quest V influenced the creation of The Sims. Therefore, it's better than a game in its own series that's regarded as better. And also all the games we've said so far. Got it. Now it all makes sense. Now I get it. See, now I understand. See, the problem before was that I just didn't understand what metric we were going by. Now I understand. No pregnant lady, bad game. Pregnant lady, top 45. Now I get it. Now I'm on the same page. Now I understand the metrics of which we are discussing these games. I'm ready to move forward. Number 32 is Ultima 4. Sure. I'll take that. I'll take that. Alright. I'm done reading this list. For real this time. No, for real. I'm actually completely finished. We're not reading the rest of this list. We're gonna... Number 31 is Final Fantasy XII. I'm not kidding. I mean, what do you even say? What? You heard it here first. Final Fantasy XII is better than Final Fantasy VII, Final Fantasy IX, Persona 3, and Persona 5. Better than Xenogears, better than Lufia 2, better than Grandia 2. Better than Ultima. Again, by what metric? Sales or something? Are we going by sales? I mean, what could possibly put 12 above all of those games? Size of the world? That's unreal. 12 wasn't even culturally significant. Did this guy even play the game? Despite its troubled development, Final Fantasy XII redefined what it meant to be a JRPG. Its mature story was told through the eyes of a bystander sent on a journey that's rife with political intrigue, danger, and one of the best supporting casts in the series' history. Let me stop you right there. Xenogears doesn't have a political, dangerous story? Best supporting cast in the series' history. The active dimension battle system ditched random battles and replaced them with an unprecedented level of strategy and tactical planning. Okay, first of all, walking into enemies and fighting them existed in its own series before this. It's called Final Fantasy XI. What are you talking about? The license board allowed players to master any skill set with whichever character they desired. False. Most importantly, Final Fantasy XII gave us an even better understanding of Matsuno's Ivalice, a world with a rich and believable history, and one that's beloved by RPG fans to this day. Okay, so the most important thing about Final Fantasy XII is that it explained Ivalice. Got it. So that's the metric. Because it told us more about a world that existed in Final Fantasy Tactics, it makes it one of the best games ever made. Got it. Now I understand. Now it makes sense. It was just leading the way for Vagrant's story. That's right. What in the world? What, are we serious? Wait a second. I need some help. Number 30 is Pokemon Sun and Moon. What? Listen, here's my I have a bigger problem with Sun and Moon than just being higher than all the games we've talked about so far. How many Pokemon games are is the next 30 games gonna be Pokemon? Because where's Black and White? Where's Red and Blue? Where's Emerald? Where's Silver and Gold? Gen 1, 2, and 3 are widely regarded as the best. So if Sun and Moon is this high, like what? Are we gonna have like 19 Pokemon games? I could maybe see the argument that Silver and Gold are not on this list. But OG, Red and Blue, and Emerald have to be on this list. Or they don't know what they're talking about. I think Gold and Silver should be on the list, but that's wild, man. That is just wild. All right. Here we go. Number 29. Everyone's favorite classic RPG, Monster Hunter 4. I feel like that's definitely one of those choices where they were like, We just don't want to make Monster Hunter fans mad. Put it in there somewhere. So where's the line of RPG if Monster Hunter 4 is an RPG?
Be ready for the next fight.
How's it going, MW? Monster Hunter Stories? I can't help you. I never played. If you get bored of an iOS game, you should quit it, though. You're not going to get much out of it other than, you know, just pushing buttons. Dude, number 1 is totally going to be Breath of the Wild. Alright. God, dude. Yeah, see, this is... I had a feeling when Persona 5 was so low, this is what was going to happen. Number 28 is Fallout New Vegas. So basically, the top 30 is just going to be Zelda and shooters. Like... But having said that, New Vegas, if we're putting shooters that are also RPGs on this list, New Vegas deserves to be this high. I would agree. I really would. I would agree that New Vegas deserves to be this high on the list. But see, we're not basing these on like the top 10. See, this is the thing. This is not the top 100 best RPGs. This is the top 100 video games that are also RPGs. You know what I mean? Like, Fallout New Vegas, well, maybe New Vegas is a bad example, but like, Monster Hunter 4 is not a better RPG than Persona 5. You know what I mean? Like, it just happens to be a game that's labeled RPG. You know? New Vegas, I'd even actually argue, is up there with the best RPGs because of how immersive the world is. But yeah, like there's gonna be game like Demon Souls, for example. Demon Souls isn't a better RPG than Final Fantasy VII. It's just a very influential game that's also labeled an RPG. And I feel like that's what the rest of this list is gonna be. Number 27 is Bloodborne.
As if there was any doubt.
Alright. I love Bloodborne, but here's my take on Bloodborne. It's not an RPG. Like, it just isn't. The dialogue is so minimal in Bloodborne. The weapons are very balanced to where you can just use any of them at any time. It does not have your typical RPG gameplay loop with the exception of stats going up. Like, it's just not really an RPG. No. Like, I wouldn't call it an RPG, honestly. I really wouldn't.
Break a sweat.
Like calling Bloodborne an RPG is like calling Devil May Cry an RPG because it has like stats, like weapons that get stronger. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just not. The dialogue is so minimal in Bloodborne. I don't know. I can't get behind that. Bloodborne is an incredible game. Put it on the top 20 best action games, but I don't think it deserves to be that high on an RPG list. You know, like, not on an RPG list, you know? But whatever, I can see the argument at least. It's a great game. Whatever. Number 26 is Mass Effect. So basically we're saying if you make choices and they affect things later, it's a great RPG. Cool. I mean, I think Mass Effect deserves to be really high, but I feel like they're putting way too much emphasis on you make decisions and they affect things later. Therefore, it's one of the greatest RPGs ever made. You know what I mean? Right, I think they zoned in so hard on that specific aspect of RPGs. I mean, I still can't really argue with Mass Effect being top 30. I'm only annoyed because of what's below it, but like if I take out what's below it, sure. I don't think that's that crazy of a choice. They say at the end of the Mass Effect description, few if any games before had nailed voice acting, facial animations, and character models with such perfection to the point that it feels like an interactive movie in the best sense of the term. RPGs would never be the same again. You think that's fair to say about Mass Effect? 2007. I kind of see what they're saying. I kind of vibe with that. Like that. I mean, I think it was one of the first games to make people feel like they were playing a movie in a way. I knew this was coming. Number 25 is Skyrim. I'm actually surprised it's not higher. I think maybe this is a hot take, but I think Skyrim should be higher. If we're accepting open world games as definitive RPGs. Like, I think it deserves to be higher.
That's how it's done.
And you know, Skyrim's one of the best-selling games ever, so it gets bonus points for that. Doesn't make it good, but gets bonus points for that. See, now this just blows my mind. Number 24 is Ultima 7. So, like, how are we deciding what's more important? A super massive new game with tons of decisions, or an older game that was impressive for the time? Like, how are we balancing these two things? Because it just seems random. It's like they throw in a couple modern games and then throw in a couple old games just to like keep people reading the list happy. But whatever, that's fine spot for Ultima. I didn't know that Ultima 7 was the one that everyone loved. No, I think I have heard that actually. Is there one that's better than 7? Are we gonna have another Ultima on this list? Ultima Online? Is that gonna be on here? I would imagine. It should be. Number 23 is System Shock 2. Again, I feel like they're putting so much emphasis on, like, games as a experience you create. But at the same time, I get this choice being this high. I definitely think that's fair. How's it going, Sneaky? System Shock 2 is an experience. I don't know if you can call it an RPG. I'm not sure if you can call it a video game, but it's something. No, I think it's definitely... Yeah. It's kind of crazy. I picked this IGN list thinking it would be, like, really not crazy. Like, I know it's IGN, but still, I thought they'd just go with, like, the general sense of things to try to not make people angry. But there's so many just unbelievable hot takes. I did not expect to get this heated over this list. I tried to pick, like, the most obvious list. It was the first one that came up on a Google search, which is sad that this is what most people are reading. Oh no. Number 22 is Final Fantasy IV. Again, I love Final Fantasy IV, but in what universe are we putting 7? The list so far for IGN is 7 is the worst, then 9, then 12, then 4. Like... oh, yeah, 1, 2. 1, 7, 9, 12, 4. What the world? Like, it's just like... Again, I can't think of a single metric where that's the answer. Are they just trying to be different? They're trying to stand out?
Be ready for the next
I mean, it is very cool to see Final Fantasy IV this high, though. I will say, that's pretty neat. But still pretty wild. Alright. Chat, let's hear it. Number 21 is Morrowind. Incoming. Skyrim is better. No, Morrowind is better. Argument. I've heard this argument a million times. No one can ever decide which one's better.
Well, that wasn't scary at all.
It is kind of cool that 4 is above Skyrim. Yeah, I feel the same way. Like, I can't really argue with that rank, but I do feel like Skyrim is the more stands the test of time game. So, if you're taking that into account, I think Skyrim wins. Maybe... So, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Morrowind was bigger when it came out than Skyrim. Yay, nay? I feel like Skyrim aged over time, whereas Morrowind was like a huge event when it came out. So that's part of it too. Like, it really depends on, are we talking when it came out, or are we talking its overall? Because I don't think anyone's arguing. If we're talking the test of time, Skyrim wins every, like, there's no way. But take into account on release, yeah, maybe it makes sense. Alright. Number 20. Tactics Ogre, Let Us Cling Together. I guess if we're putting uniqueness as, like, the most important feature, sure. I think it definitely deserves to be really high. Let's just play Forbidden Memory. We haven't hit the incentive yet, Kyleo. But yes, I agree. Let's just play Forbidden Memory. I've heard many things about Tactics Ogre and it being one of the best RPGs. I really don't have too much of an argument saying it's 20. I have an argument with it being higher than 7 and higher than Persona 5. Those are the two that I just keep going back to. How are 7 and Persona 5 so low when you're putting stuff in here like Tactics Ogre that's really just here for like its uniqueness and effect on the industry? Like, there's no way. It's just like... Alright, number 19, Earthbound, 95. I don't think anyone's really going to argue that one. Higher? Higher? You think? I would put it higher, but given what's below it, I'm guessing 18 through 1 is Elden Ring, so, I mean... Yo, thank you, Kyleo. Yeah, that's enough. Nope, I'm gonna open the box after the event to make sure everyone is right. Like, I'll do an announcement so that everyone knows. Don't worry. I won't just randomly open it. Everyone worked together to hit the incentive, so I want to make sure everyone that wants to be here is here. Yeah, I don't know. I really do feel like Earthbound deserves to be top 20. Whether or not it deserves to be higher. Here's my issue. Here's, one of my 100 issues with this list at this point. Earthbound is 19 because of how unique and different it was, right? I think everyone's in agreement with that. Like, that's why Earthbound is so amazing, is because they took what was an RPG and they flipped it on its head, changed everything, and it just, like, revolutionized RPGs, right? Then why is Undertale so low, right? Like, I could get that Undertale's lower than Earthbound for sure, but, like, why does it seem like some games get a super boost because they're unique, like Tactics Ogre, but then other games don't get a boost at all for being unique? Like, it's odd. Okay, number 18. Final Fantasy Tactics. Finally, a good take. It took us all the way to 18, but finally a good take. I think it deserves it, man. After playing Tactics for Fantathon, it really did open my eyes to how good Tactics is. Truly an incredible game. And I could see the argument for it being lower for sure, but like, I'm here for it being 18. 18? Or 19? 18, right? Yeah, I'm here for that for sure. I could see the argument for it being 25. I could see the argument for it being 15. So I'm totally happy with it being 18. Number 17. Suikoden 2. I would say another pretty great pick. Surprising that we've suddenly hit a bunch of retro game. We had like a huge span of freaking Bloodborne. But they're starting to right the ship now. Not that because a game is newer, it automatically shouldn't be in the top 10, but you know, especially when it comes to RPGs. And like I said, Bloodborne's a great game, but it's not, doesn't have that same level of like importance to the RPG scene. It's more important to the action game scene than it is the RPG game scene.